So, in regard to that, sort of like for the next question, it would be in regard to all of those behaviours and the starved brain and how important is eating regularly?
Absolutely key. Absolutely key for a couple of important reasons. The first one is really that adolescents are growing. And again, I mentioned before about them being different to adults, and the research has shown that adolescents need to eat every 2 to 3 hours through the day.
Right.
They're growing and they're using their brains at school. Brains take a lot of energy. And so they're going to be at their best if they eat every 2 to 3 hours. And so not only in this case are they trying to grow normally, they're also trying to make up for lost time, right? They're behind the 8 ball now, they've lost a bit of weight. So for somebody with anorexia, and I'll explain about bulimia too, but for somebody trying to weight gain, those 3 meals and 3 snacks both will help them function and their brain function better, but it also will help them get back on track with the weight gain, because they do need a lot more food. Boys in particular need an extraordinary amount of food. You know,
Right.
those big gains they're trying to do in growth need a lot of food, and then when you're trying to gain weight, it's additional. So if you just try and do it with 3 meals, it would be far too much. That the young person would be too full to get through that much. Even with calorie dense foods, it still would be a lot. So breaking it up into 3 main meals and 3 snacks, and having desserts in there, it both gives you the opportunity to get all that calorie intake in through the day. We want to normalize the sweet food, so getting those desserts back in and normalizing that. And then lastly, it's really important with breaking that eating disorder cycle for people with bulimia or binge eating disorder, that often that whole cycle starts with restricting in the morning. And it's very easy to restrict in the morning. You know, they call it breakfast because you're breaking the fast, and your body has slowed down overnight, and the metabolism has slowed down. So it's the easiest meal to skip. And so they don't eat breakfast, and then they don't eat morning tea, and they might start eating at lunchtime. But then their body all day is craving for all those
what
they've missed. And so by afternoon they're starving, and they come home and pig out, or then in the evening binge eat, and so all those horrible feelings of guilt and shame kick in afterwards, whether they're purging or not. If they're binge eating disorder, they just say, tomorrow I'm going to do better and restrict more, you know, and you're just on the cycle.
Just on that sort of cycle.
And same with if they're driven to purge, there might be initial relief, but then pretty quickly afterwards is, you know, the physical stuff of a sore tummy and sore throat, but also the guilt and shame around it, you know, and that's a horrible thing to be doing. So I'm going to restrict more next time.
So it's this constant cycle.
So that's breaking that cycle starts with regular eating. And breaking the fast in the morning, having that, it is the most important meal of the day. To break that fast, get the metabolism going, and then you're hungry by morning tea. You know, which is what you need and what your body's needing. So it's really important for all those reasons.